In a place like mine, volatile acidity is a very good friend of ours. Good volatile acidity is very helpful to give drinkability.
Raisin.
I used to make a Sauvignon Blanc, and a client said, it's good, but I buy a Sancerre more or less at the same price, and you can understand that it's much easier to sell a Sancerre than a Sauvignon from my area. And so I said, we don't have to make copies. We have to struggle maybe longer and try to give value to our own varieties instead of making great copies of something that is already very well established in other places. As I did it almost 30 years ago. And actually at that time, I wasn't so aware of things like now, but it came out like a good decision. And I always thought that I need to give identity to my wines and to the place. I come from a place that is not known for big appellations. So as farmers, we adapt ourselves to the place. So I need time in order to achieve elegance and balance, because my soil is mainly red clay, very rich in iron, very poor in nitrogen. So we have often the fermentation that doesn't finish and starts again the following spring. So what I think is a good approach is to see what your place can give and adapt yourself and your wine to the place. So for many people, could be a problem to have fermentation that don't finish. For us, it's like we turned this characteristic as the strongest point of my winery and of my wines. So it's a necessary time. It's something that I have to wait in order to achieve elegance and balance. So it's the condition of the soil that I adapted myself to that. And this is the way I think to make wines of terroir, that each place has different wines. And this is the nicest thing of artisanal wines. What I decided to do, since I'm a medium big estate and I have space and I have time, so I release the wine when they're ready. And then of course they can last even more time. But I don't like when people offer me wines and say, you should see in 5 years how this wine would be. And I say, I want to drink it now. So I don't want to wait for 5 years with this glass that I have in front of me now. Natural wine is not a category. Each place, each grape, each climate, each soil has different characteristics. In a place like mine, where we have this type of soil, volatile acidity is a very good friend of ours. We have wines that have structure, big wines. Even if we are in the north, our wines are considered like Mediterranean wines. And so a good volatile acidity is very helpful to give drinkability. But of course, like people, if you feel only volatile acidity, it's not good. I know that we there and we will always walk on an edge like this. But I know also that especially for the white, for Malvasia, which doesn't have a very high acidity, volatile acidity is very helpful for drinkability. And it's out of sulfites is the only limit that we have, which doesn't really make sense in terms of health. I mean, it's not bad for the health of people. So wine as people has to be balanced. You don't judge a person because he has, I don't know, gray hair, or you look at the big, and the same is wine. You should see it as an entire, the whole vision you should have. And so a good barrel should be altogether to take out this limit. Vinegar doesn't affect your health. So why we should have this limit?